Hoy hoy, fellow foodies! I'm back. I don't know if I'll be able to get this on YouTube. My trailer response to CastleVania couldn't be uploaded for file reasons. Despite the fact that it's actually kind of brief. And on Daily Motion, I can only post password protected content. They won't tell me why. But Facebook still lets me upload for the moment. Maybe this just means I need to get on Twitch. In any case, it's my take on the first episode of the final season of CastleVania. We start off right after the end of the last season. An animation note. The background is painted, but the horses and the humans are drawn animated, and the wagon is CGI. I don't understand this choice. I mean, it's striking and memorable, and I don't complain about those, but why this? Just seems like extra work. The story itself also picks up. Even the horses look sad. It's basically last few seconds of the downer ending. But the words 6 weeks ago mean that we're going to be picking up from there, not in real time, but to capture the passage of time. The skeletons I made note of last time are what they encounter 1 week later. Their first mid-boss battle with various henchmen. They really get a good sense of, well, not just a platformer, but showing my age here, but also the more 3D era. Fighting high and low and trying to create little platforms out of ice in the air to battle all of these until they can get rid of the big boss, and then suddenly it's over. And then we get to the 4 weeks ago. Serum gets some demons angry for interrupting them while they are praying to a lost portrait of Dracula. And she pulls off something cool with the rainwater and her ice powers that, if Snowflake could pull off, maybe the new warriors would be more popular. Then we get to the big to-do scene from the trailer, and the line that the episode is named after, Murder Wakes It Up. I noticed an animation error, but until my budget affords video capture, I'm not going to go into those. 2 weeks ago, You have a more lighthearted scene where armed frogs are trying to kill them, and they are having an argument with each other about Trevor's influence and teaching nice young ladies how to swear. That was actually pretty funny. Of course, that segues us into attempted mass sacrifice of children by men of the cloth. Uh, Only instead of a statue of the Madonna, it's a statue of the Grim Reaper. Uh, they are attempting, apparently, the second in a month and a half to try to bring back Dracula through sacrifice. Bet that gets really old really fast. Uh, then we get to the series calls Tonight, which brings us to the present day. No more time skips. And after fighting some more, Trevor finally admits that their collective exhaustion has dulled their game, and that is costing people their lives. He also starts collecting items, because again, that's also part of gaming. And I just realized that Chekhov's gun writing convention. A writer called Chekhov says if you're describing through prose a gun on the wall, the gun must be fired later. There's really not a lot of items highlighted in movies, comics, or books that are not put into use later. But in gaming, you're the one firing the gun. The Chekhov's gun motif is basically an element of the experience rather than a rule for crafting a narrative. That's one more facet of gameplay that they actually work into this really well. But back to the story itself, we get to meet Varney for the first time. Varney the vampire, Varney of London. Varney, nightmare of an old Roman ghost town. Varney who won't shut up about his alter ego. The alter ego being the big bad big deal as opposed to the man you see before you. He insists they're one and the same, but yeah, this is the Varney the vampire I knew in college. The Feast of Blood was a very ugly and repulsive creature who discovers he's a vampire and isn't exactly happy about it. It was a monthly installment series about a man who keeps trying to kill himself over and over and over again and just can't catch a break. Sometimes he succeeds and then gets reanimated. Given the creative liberties they took with Carmilla, think it's just a matter of namesakes, and I'm glad that they showed the research street cred to incorporate any Varney in here. And then there's Alucard to round out the first episode. As we can see, he's had more visitors. However, the only humans it seems he's impaled on front of his house are the ones who betrayed him at the end of the previous season. Everything else is just more night creatures. He finally gets a black horse, which definitely develops its own character. The idea behind Alucard is that he's a Dampier, one of the modern takes of a hybrid rather than just a hunter, but one of the things the new way keeps from the old way is that they always ride in on a black horse. So, he's received a summons to run to a village and save them. And he's discovered, much to his horror, he is becoming like Belmont, thus ending the episode. Personally, I like this. It covers a lot of ground, well, keeping things focused on only 2 or 3 POV. Varney was the bridge as we finally pull away from Trevor and Seraph, but he's going to be pretty much their antagonist based on them being in the same place. Then we jump to Alucard, and the episode ends. We've seen his friends in motion. Now we see him get the nudge to start moving. Spoiler alert, the theme of this season is going to be letting go of the past and moving ahead with the future. But more on that later. For now, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the little bell icon. You know the rest.